This is the Gita class, chapter 12, and then sloka 6 and 7. Chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga. We'll do the Mangalacharana prayers first. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjalasalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gunave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Rastapitam Yena Duputale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunatamvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakambhitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Jena Dina Bandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosade Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य विचापतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण भगवान की जय प्रभुपाद की जय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Chapter 12 Bhakti Yoga 6 and 7 ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषाम् अहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्तोपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्तोपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् ये those who do but sarvani all karmani activities mai unto me sanyasya giving up matparaha being attached to me ananyena without deviation eva certainly yogena by practice of such bhakti yoga mam upon me dhyayantaha meditating upasate worship tesham of them aham I samudatta deliverer mrityu of death samsara in material existence sagarat from the ocean bhavami I become na not chirat after long time partha o son of pratha mai upon me aveshita fixed chetasam of those whose minds. Translation by the Prabhupada and the purport. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pratha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So the previous sloka, he says like a nirguna, nirakara worship, and that is, Bhagavan says it's difficult to people who are embodied. And these two slokas talks about the Saguna worship people. So how the Saguna worship people, what he will do with the Saguna worship people. So it's basically, it depends on how much, where and when, at what point of time the mind is attached, whether the Saguna worship or Nirguna worship. So both are good, both are, it's the same Bhagavan, you are touching the same absolute truth Bhagavan. So if you are not embodied, control the indriyas like a previous sloka says, then if the mind is attached to that, and then it is if it is attached and then if it is enjoying, then what happens is like once attached to the nirguna, it cannot reach with the mind, but the mind will be totally diluted, and then only you realize your own true nature. So if that is not the case, then with the mind, what you do, because all the activities are happening only through the medium of the mind only. And that one, Bhagavan says, give everything to him. And then without deviation, each and every time, and then meditating upon him and engage in the devotional service. So that is what the three things are mentioned here. So if you really see the formula vidya kama karma, this karma is happening, the mind is fluctuating to the things to happen, all because of the avidya, thinking that we are the bodied, we are the soul, body consciousness. But when we are realized with vidya, with the real consciousness, then you are with the Atman, you realize the Atman, within that Atman, Satchitananda Vigraha. So either Saguna, Varguna, whatever may be, that you will know when you realize your true nature. Okay, that is what it is. So here the qualities are the people, those who worship me, first of all, worshipping Bhagavan, the Saguna with the Guna qualities, and then Aita Akara, like mentioned before. Giving first, so what are the things they will do is like giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation. Okay, first of all, he doesn't work for his own benefit. He doesn't have any desire or anything. All the activities are directed towards Bhagavan and always engaged in the devotional service, always meditating upon him, not how to enjoy the sense gratification and then again body consciousness meditation, not like that. Even though this guy has a body consciousness, the devotee, but still he does not also have the body consciousness. He is attached to the nirguna, saguna, akara. Fix their minds upon me. When your mind is totally with the Bhagavan, it's not even material mind. Then what happens? The matter is it's spiritual, become spiritual. So both are again same thing. Whether you touch the nirguna or saguna, but if you need to touch hard, ananya cheta, etu sarvani karmani, mai sanyasya mat paraha ananyenava yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. These are the things are all mentioned here. So the mind should be totally focused on Bhagavan and all the karmas should be aligned, and then all the sarvani karmani, mai sanyasya, all the sarva karmanis are giving to the Bhagavan. Ananyena vivina, all the time. Janta upasate, those who are doing the upasana, then for them, Bhagavan will take care of himself. Let's see the purport. It is explicitly stated here that the devotees are very fortunate to be delivered very soon from material existence by the Lord. In pure devotion service, one comes to the realization that God is great and that the individual soul is subordinate to Him. His duty is to render service to the Lord, and if he does not, then he will render service to Maya. So that is what it is. So very fortunate, because it's not that klesha, even though it is difficult, but it is not that very difficult. And here it says in pure devotion service, purchase. Pure devotion means ananya, what is anya vilashita sunyam. There is no material desire in the pure devotion service. Next para. As stated before, the Supreme Lord can be appreciated only by the devotion service. Therefore, one should be fully devoted. One should fix his mind fully on Krishna in order to achieve him. One should work only for Krishna. It does not matter in what kind of work one engages, but that work should be done only for Krishna. That is the standard of the devotional service. The devotee does not desire any achievements other than pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His life's mission is to please Krishna, and he can sacrifice everything for Krishna's satisfaction, just as Arjuna did in the battle of Kurukshetra. The process is very simple. One can devote himself in his occupation and engage at the same time in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Such transcendental chanting attracts the devotee to the personality of Godhead. So here it's simply explained clearly. Mind should be fully on Krishna. Only work for Krishna is like same. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva Eko Mantas Tasya Namani Ani Karmapyekam Tasya Devasya Sevaha. That's what it is. So we will do in this, to live in the material world, whatever the minimum things we need to do, we'll be doing that. But majority of the things, and even that also, will be devoted to Krishna. And then every time think about Krishna and then because use the mind, buddhi, indriyas, and everything, and then to please Krishna. How to please Krishna means you know it. When you are in the Dharma Marga and you are enjoying with whatever you have it, with the mental attitude of that it's all Bhagavan is giving everything, Krishna is giving everything, then you don't have any material desire or ego, basically kama, krodha, lobha, moha. If you don't have all those things, then you are like pleasing the Krishna. Again, Bhagavan is going to explain so many qualities here. Next para. The Supreme Lord herein promises that without delay he will deliver a pure devotee, thus engaged from the ocean of material existence. Those who are advanced in yoga practice can willfully transfer the soul to whatever planet they like by the yoga process, and others take the opportunity in various ways. But as far as the devotee is concerned, it is clearly stated here that the Lord Himself takes him. The devotee does not need to wait to become very experienced in order to transfer him to the spiritual sky. This is what it is, very clear. The Lord will help. It's almost like a Marjala Nyayam. Marjala Nyayam means the cats. When the mother cat delivers all the baby cats, then the mother cat will take care of everything. All the baby cats, what they will do is like they will just chant, cry for the mother, and the mother will take care of everything. So here Bhagavan will take care. Only the conditions here is, what is that? Giving up all activities unto him and devotion to him without deviation, engage in devotion service, always meditating upon him and fixing the minds upon it. Those are the qualities. That is also very difficult, but you will get it. So you two, one is very difficult, the other one is very, very difficult. So Nirguna, Saguna. So which one you want to pick? So that's what it is. In the Varaha Purana, this verse appears. Nayami paramam sthanam archir adi gatim vina garuda skandam aropya yetecham anivaritaha. The purport of this verse is that a devotee does not need to practice Ashtanga Yoga in order to transfer his soul to the spiritual planets. The responsibility is taken by the Supreme Lord Himself. He clearly states here that He Himself becomes the deliverer. A child is completely cared by his parents and thus his position is secure. Similarly, a devotee does not need to endeavor to transfer himself by yoga practice to other planets. Rather, the Supreme Lord, by his great mercy, comes at once riding on his bird carrier Garuda and has fallen in the Garuda and at once delivers the devotee from material existence. Although a man who has fallen in the ocean may struggle very hard and may be very expert in swimming, he cannot save himself. But if someone comes and picks him from the water, then he is easily rescued. Similarly, the Lord picks up the devotee from the material existence. One simply has to practice the easy process of Krishna consciousness and fully engage himself in devotional service. Any intelligent man should always prefer the process of devotional service to all the other paths. So basically, whatever, like in the normally in our material world also, right, whenever there is any easy process and achieving the same result, we all tend to go for it. Same thing here also Bhagavan mentioned here. So the easy process is becoming a devotee, pure devotee. But why we have hesitation means we need to clear ourselves. What exactly is means by the pure devotion service, and then what is the other path is. So problem is we don't understand the devotion service fully, and we have a mindset that the devotion service means it's low compared to the other jnana marga. That is how the mindset is made. But in reality, if you really see what is the difference between the jnana marga and the bhakti marga, is a very slight difference. And also you have to think about your position. So whatever the position is, our position is we are totally body consciousness. If you really see we are living in the samsara. So always from the morning to night we are in the samsara with the people around us. You cannot be totally without body and also without body consciousness. And also there are body needs which you are trying to meet. And in the Kali Yuga, it's very tough. And also there are so much Maya around us So the mind is always distracted by seeing the bodies and then thinking about the body. It's all body related stuff only. So, and also the system where we are in, we have to work hard, we have to go to work to pay the bills and then enjoy the benefits, and all that's all related to the body consciousness. The more and more body consciousness are pouring in the mind. So, in that situation, it is very easy to see the this path, and also the result is same. You can always inquire about the jnana, how the Bhagavan's nirguna features are there, and then also think about all the stuff, Atma Bodha, Vivek Chudamani, like that. Those are great things. Then you will have the more and more faith on the Bhagavan. That is how you can. So, for example, this morning we talked about all that, how the Nirvikara, how we are not the body, not the mind, not this, even not the causal body, Karna Sarira. Those are all the objects also for us, not the subject. We are the only subject. So, having knowing all this really helps. At the same time, if you really see the morning to even during the dream state also, the mind is always fluctuating. When the mind is fluctuating, it's always thinking about the past events or the future events or the present events, which are all related to the body only. It is thinking. If it is not body, it cannot even fluctuate. That means the only way it can stay is by learning the scriptures or in the devotional service or Ramayana Bhagavad Leelas. That is where the mind is totally merged in the spiritual plane. So that's what the planes they will say, right? The conscious this morning also consciousness has three planes. One is the waking plane, dream state, like that, and then the deep sleep plane. These are the different planes, not the states. So again, the bhakti is also very difficult. That's one thing. First of all, engage all the indriyas. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam, Bhakti Richate. Bhakti means all the indriyas should be employed in the indriya Rishikesha, Isha of the indriya. And also, Anya Vilashita Sonyam, Jnana Karma, Anavratam, Anukulena Krishnanu, Shiranam Bhakti. No other material desire. Now, in the Narayaniya, this is confirmed as follows. Yavai sadhana sampattihi purushartha chatushtaye taya vina tadapnoti naro narayana ashraya. The purport of this verse is that one should not engage in the different processes of fruitive activity or cultivate knowledge by the mental speculative process. One who is devoted to the Supreme Personal Godhead personality can attain all the benefits derived from the other yoga process, speculation, rituals, sacrifices, charities, etc. That is the specific benefit of a benediction of the devotion service. Look at this. One should not engage in it, but one should be devoted to the Bhagavan. Now, simply by chanting the holy name of the Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, a devotee of the Lord can approach the supreme destination easily and happily, but this destination cannot be approached by any other process of religion. That's what it is. Simply by chanting the Lord's name. Again, this is correct, but at the same time, if you really say when you are chanting the Lord, all your indriyas, mind should be only devoted to the Bhagavan. Don't even think about of anything else. Like Nama Paradas are there. And also think yourself like a Jivatma, and then serving the Lord Paramatma, and Trinadapi Trinicheva, Atarorina, Vishna, Manana Amadena, Kirtana Sadahari. So you have to be more patient, tolerable, the tolerance of the tree, and then lower than the grass you should think. And Amanina Manadena, you should not have any egoistic stuff, and then honor, Natimanita. Then with that mode, you have to chant Bhagavan and always think about him, always his leelas and mind. But what happening in my personal experience is, whenever I'm chanting the Lord's name, the mind is wanders here and there, thinking that okay, I'm doing this part, but some part of the mind will wander, thinking that that needs to be wander, and then there are so many things to you remember only during that time only. There are some things are to be done. In normal times, when we are dealing with anything, Even you're watching movie or anything, you don't think about the other activities you need to do on the next day or something. Only in the chanting only it will come. That means the mind is forcing, it is reacting, is or it's not listening, or it's like a, what is that, striking, or it's like making a dharna, you know. That's what it is, the force. The conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita is stated in the 18th chapter. And going on to the purport, the last para. The conclusion in the 18th chapter: Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarvapapebhyah aham tvam sarvapapebhyah moksheshvami mahashujaha. One should give up all the process of self-realization and simply execute devotion service in Krishna consciousness. That will enable one to reach the highest perfection of life. There is no need for one to consider the sinful actions of his past life, because the Supreme Lord fully takes charge of him. So whatever the sinful activities in the past life or in the past moment, up to the past moment, you don't need to worry about anything. So thinking that, okay, you may not get the grace of the Lord, no, that's not like that. So any minute you can think of the Lord and to remove all the papas. There is no need to consider past life, but the Supreme Lord takes care of it. Therefore, one should not futilely try to deliver himself in spiritual realization. Let everyone take shelter of the Supreme Omnipotent God Krishna, that is the highest perfection. Therefore, one should not futilely try to deliver himself in spiritual realization. So basically, when we are trying to deliver ourselves with a different process, I think, then compared to the taking shelter of the Lord, and the Lord will take care of it, the expert. So like anything, we have to do it. Instead of doing on your own, you get the expert advice and let the expert do it, and then you take the shelter. That is what it is. So it's very clear that whatever may be the path, Jnana Marga or Bhakti Marga, and whatever may be the worship, like Nirakara worship, Nirguna worship, or Saguna Sakara worship, both are, for that the qualifications for the both is what? The mind should be totally devoted and mind should be totally controlled. So when the mind is controlled, totally devoted, and then thinking about all that, then you will be Mrityu Samsara Sagarat. So here Shankara Bhashya says again the same thing. Yadu Sarvani Karmani Tesha. So basically, he says like the Saguna Brahma Bhakti devotee people. Devotees, they are devoting to the Saguna Brahma. If you really see Nirguna Brahma, devotion to the Nirguna Brahma is an entirely different plane and it is very hard. So Saguna Brahma, those who are worshipping Saguna Brahmas, then again, yes, Matparaha means Paramagamyam. That means the goal should be Bhagavan. Okay. Ananyamaina. And also here look at that. Ananyamaina means continuously. And also in the mind should not be the mind should always just think about the Bhagavan, Ishvara, Vishwarupa, Atma Chaitanya Swarupa, or whatever may be your form or your guna, saguna form, the mind should only be thinking about that only. That is mainly. Mai Sanyasya Ananyena Eva Yogena. Okay? That is the main qualification, Shankaracharya says. So, again, that is also very difficult. Like if the mind is attached to Nirguna or Saguna, both basically mind should be attached to the Bhagavan, who is a Saguna and Nirguna also. Sakara, Nirakara also. So here also in the devotion service, Bhagavan mind should always be with the Bhagavan. Either you think about the Leelas of the Lord, you think about the form of the Lord, or you think about all the current positions of the Panchabhutas are acting the Panchabhuta stuff happening around the world, around you, seeing that again Leela of the Lord. So the mainly is Matparaha. So here the mind should be, Jaya Vastu should be only Bhagavan. No matter what you do. So in the bhakti also, what the bhakta will do, he will just keep on thinking about the Bhagavan only. And like the other devotee, he was sitting somewhere in the poor, under the tree, and he's thinking about the Narayana, and he's trying to make the kheer, payasam for the Narayana. So he bought it. So see, the jhanam is on the Narayana. He want to feed him. So that's why what he will do, he's collecting in the mind itself, he's collecting the semya, the cashews, the kismis, the raisins, and then the ghee, and then those things. And then he's trying to make a fire, clean it up, and then grind it, or yelakas, the yelakalu, right? That one, and then you grind it. So each and every action, if you really say, the mind is always thinking all these actions, and the Dhyaya Vastu is Bhagavan. Then once he made the kheer, and then it is slowly burning, boiling, and he wanted to really see whether it's totally, the heat is perfectly. Then he put his finger on the key, and then it's all in the mind, but his finger burned. Then immediately Narayana laughed, and then he called with the Garuda, and then he removed this guy from the Mrityusamsara Sagara. So that kind of is called devotional service, pure devotion. So in this case, this bhakta does not have any intention of his body consciousness, does not have intention of even drinking the payasam also for himself. He is totally focusing on Bhagavan. That is important. And also itaramaina avalambalan leni. So he is chitta ekagrata. So he is totally focused on Bhagavan, that he won't even think about the other means, thinking that the other means are helping him. Like for example, normally we think that money is needed for us, job is needed for us, and then all the benefits, 401k, this job, that job, pension, this benefit, that benefit, health benefit, all are going to save it. So our mind is, like Ramakrishna said, is scattered into so many ways, and then part of a little bit of part of mind also in the devotional service, but that is not called Ananya Yoga. So here that is not a bhakti. So bhakti, real bhakti means totally ananyamayana chittana. Don't even think about of anything, any desire, and you just live for Bhagavan. Think about the Bhagavan only. Like Gopikas, Yashoda, and Maya, and then so many other examples in the Bhagavatam, Ramayanam, and then so many Puranas like that. Then Teshamam Nayantu Pravesavata Manasukala Bhaktiki Nenu Vilamban Lekunda. So people, then those people who are totally, the mind is totally merged with the Bhagavan, for him, he'll remove from the Mrityu Samsara Sagar, because you are connected, and then done, you are realized. And then mainly here Shankaracharya says that people who are totally focused, that is why he gives a very importance to the bhakti also. So there is no difference between bhakti and jnana. Then mrityu samsara means mrityuto kodina samsara, means the samsara is with death. What is that? Sukha dukkha janma maranala pravaham. It's like the flow of sukha dukkha janma marana. Keep on coming, keep on coming. If you really observe yourself, there's sukha dukkha, sukha dukkha, sukha dukkha, and then janma marana is keep on continuing. The body cells are dying, cells are generating, and each and every minute things are happening. Janana marana, things are happening. And then the same thing, mind also floating like that. It's like a new thought coming, old thought, same thought dying, another thought coming, another thought dying. So these are all the things that are happening. Biggest cycle is happening, and from this cycle he'll just remove from us. So this again, Mrityu Samsara Sagarat means the ocean. Ocean is very difficult to cross over, but he says he is giving the promise that he is going to take care of us, and he is going to relieve us from the ocean of birth and death. And then how? Sikram Samudhatta Bhavami Nachirat Partha Na Chirat. So not even Vilambana. So there is no Vilambana. And then immediately, and he says, O Pradhapatra Vishwarupa. So Pradhapatra, O Kuntiputra. So because he is mentioning here Kuntiputra, because he already took care of the Kunti Devi. And then Kunti's prayers also beautiful prayers just because of the Bhagavan only. That is how the Shankaracharya explained. Now if you see the Vidya Prakashanandagiri Swami, then it is again same thing. Again, samasta karma should be towards Bhagavan, and then Paramagati is Bhagavan. Gatir Bharta, Gati means goal should be Bhagavan. Then Ananya Chintana, Dhyana, then pure devotion service. The mind should be totally on the Bhagavan. Now in the Chittam, then he's going to relieve from the Mrityu Samsara Sagarata. Really see if your mind is always fluctuating, at what minute it is there. Look at that. That is why it is very difficult. Both the bhakti and the jnana also are difficult. Then he says so the first sloka here, what is that? Yetu sarvani karmani. That is what he says, like the process of the bhakti, and then the next one, tesham samudhatta, is the result he is going to give it. Okay, then that's the result of that. So the result is very huge result. He is going to remove from the birth cycle of birth and death, and which is very difficult to cross over, and that is totally of dukkhalayam only. Totally mrityu. Mrityu means dukkham only. Then the process is, what is the process? Etu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyena vayogena mam dhyayanta. So there are all things. Samasta karmallo bhagavantuni karpinchuta. That is mai sarvani karmani etu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. That is one thing. And then matparaha paramagati is, that means the goal should be Bhagavan. Then ananya yogena ekanta bhakti, ekantika bhakti, ananya yogam. Other than him, nothing will be, no one is that. Then what happens? Ananya yogena mam dhyayanta upasa. Dhyayanta also keep on thinking about the Bhagavan only. Then for them, he is going to remove from the birth cycle. Purarapi jananam, purarapi maranam, purarapi janane jatare senam, ye samsare, pahudustare, krupya pare, pahi murare. So when you are thinking about the Bhagavan, this is what it says. Samudhatta. So then Bhagavan says that, then that's a qualification. So whoever is not thinking about Bhagavan, Ananya, and that means other than him, you are thinking about something else. For them, he is not going to save us. So it's a simple, because when your mind is attached to, that's why the desire should be prajahati yada kaman sarvan pardhaga manogatan. Desire should be zero, because the mind has any tinge of desire, then the Bhagavan won't save you. He's going to give you the desire, and then again you are back into the mrityu samsara. So that's why you should have that mumukshatva thing. You need to analyze, understand the mind and the samsara and everything. Then with a single pointedness, you should not desire anything, and then desire only the Bhagavan. Like sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. That is what it is. So bhavaroga vinashanamu is very important. So that's why we need a knowledge to understand this bhavaroga. What is this happening? Why we are craving? What are we craving? And then eventually, where are you? Then here Yetu means Avarayananu Sariye, whoever may be. So no caste, no grade, no man, nothing, no difference. Whoever dhyayanta totally, they will be. Then Sarvani Karmani means all the karmas, not just a few. Okay? Samastha karmalni Ishwararpanavati. That means the result, whatever the result comes at, you will just accept it. You don't blame on the other people. It's a long way to go. Ananya Yoga again. Ananya Yoga means continuously thinking about Bhagavan. Ananya Chitta. Then Mam Dhyayanta Upas. Dhyayanta means, so Mam Dhyayanta te Dhyayanta means Samanya Upasana te Ardhabhavanta Garma Upasana. This Upasana, thinking about the Bhagavan with the real Dhyanam, not just words. But to start with, you just chant the Bhagavan's name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But thinking about the real meaning, and then also just to think about the Lord only during the whole chanting process. That's what it is. For them, he is going to remove. from the birth cycle of birth and death. Kamadi dushta jalavantulo. See this ocean is what? Kamadi dushta janturato kudi aparamai unnadi. That means it's a very huge with the full of kama, krodha like ferocious animals. Murchu samsara, puttuka. Nachirat means again shigramuga. That means very nearly, very quickly he will remove it. Only thing is the qualification is mind should be totally on the Bhagwan. So remove all the doubts that okay, this which marga is best, which is this, which is that. Forget about all that, but focus on the mind. The mind should be totally devoted to the Bhagavan, or in the Jnana Marga it says mind should be quietened, so zero. Then you realize your true nature. You can practice both during the processes. And when you are observing the mind, then you can remove all the thoughts, processes in the mind. And when the mind is flowing, just let it flow towards Bhagavan only. Two things we can do. Pravritti, Nivritti kind of. So again, like Gajendra, Prahalada, Ambarisha, Draupadi, so many great devotees are there. We can take examples from them. Like Prahalada, Gajendra, Ambarisha, Draupadi, and then what is that? Dhruva. So many people are there. Again, what is the samsara, cycle of samsara? How the nature of samsara is? It's a ocean, means it's a huge, and then it's very ferocious. And it's all mrityu rupa, and it's all with the janana marana life cycle. Then how to get away from this? Just ashraya, take the shelter of the Bhagavan. And then how to take the shelter means all the karma should be devoted to the Bhagavan, and he make him only the goal. Then his whole mind should be totally devoted on the Bhagavan. Then also just thinking about the Bhagavan, dhyanam. Chintana means all the chitta means the storage should not be in the all the matter and everything. It should be only the Bhagavan. Slowly we'll get there. It is difficult, at the same time it's very easy, and that is the only path, and that is the easy path, and also it's very, right now itself you will get the little bit of relief, you will get the little bit of experience out of that. Little bit of relief you can seize, then that's how you will be moving forward, and eventually you will get there. Then again, those who are doing this dhyana, for them there are 4 slokas Bhagavan is going to explain, like how you will be thinking about the Bhagavan, how you should be thinking, and then if you can't do this like that, there are 4 slokas he is going to explain in the next 4 other 4 slokas. Then after that he is going to explain the qualities of the Bhagavan devotee. Okay, we'll end up here. Okay, Krishna Bhagavan, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.